Hello, everyone, and welcome to this celebratory episode. I'm so excited you're here. I have one of my favorite people joining me for this episode as we're celebrating the second anniversary of the Feng Shui Living podcast. Welcome to Feng Shui Living, the podcast designed for busy women who want to de-stress, live with intention, and create a home that truly supports their well-being. Each week, I'll bring you practical tips, insightful ideas, and simple strategies to enhance both your home and your life. Let's get started. Hello. Let's cue the confetti, everyone. I'm so excited that you're here for this really fun episode. We're celebrating the second anniversary of the podcast. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh. I can't believe how fast time flies. And I started this podcast with a really nice big cup of coffee, a little courage, a lot of nervousness, but it's become so important to me. I started this podcast because I really wanted to help a lot of people. That's always been my goal, is to help people. And I wanted to have an offering that was absolutely free for those people that don't have the means to invest in a full consultation. You still deserve a great space. And also, sometimes you just need a quick tip just to liven your day or just to help you settle and sleep a little better. So we are here to celebrate. And I have one of my favorite people here joining me, Maggie Kitch. Say hello.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. This is like a beacon in my day. So thank you. This is a special episode.
So Maggie is here. If you don't know, Maggie is my amazing assistant and supports me in countless ways with my business. I mean, if you've done anything with me, she's probably had some hand in it, whether it's an email or a paragraph, a description I'm sending her. I'm like, Maggie, does this make sense? Right? Or setting up an email sequence that's beautifully done and coordinated, or helping me. Here's the other fun part. Maggie is a trained astrologer, and she has helped me in countless ways with setting up specific times to release a new offering, to setting up so many different things with my business. In fact, I believe it was a year and a half ago that we worked on my new logo. So if anybody's been around for, long time, you might remember I had an old green kind of logo and just didn't feel connected. And Maggie used my astrology chart to help me determine what my logo should look like. And if you've seen it, it's beautiful and glowing. And oh my gosh. So Maggie, let's talk to you a little bit. Thank you for joining me on this celebratory episode.
Thank you. It is such a treat to work with you. And I'm so glad that we can still work together, even though we live over 1,000 miles apart now.
Yes.
It's just such a gift. So
I mean, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice to have to go on a work trip to Naples, Florida to work with Maggie, I'll say.
It's not the worst.
It's not the worst. Oh my gosh. Maggie, tell everyone a little bit about you and where they can hear your podcast too, because you have an amazing podcast.
So I am a co-host on an astrology podcast called Celestial Curiosities. It can be a little tricky to spell, but
Really,
yeah, do a little spell check. But we are also in our second year. We're not celebrating our complete second year, but we're in the midst of it. So our first season, two of my girlfriends and I are just teaching astrology in like time with the turning of the zodiac. So we talk about the sign of Taurus in Taurus season. We talk about Venus, which is the ruling planet of Taurus, and just kind of go through the zodiac, building a living library. And this year we are building just a little bit more upon that. So we do like movie review episodes. Well, we'll break down the astrological archetypes that you see on movies. We've done like Mean Girls and Dirty Dancing, and that's really fun. And then event episodes. And it's fun to just kind of apply and synthesize everything that we did from the last season. So that's yes.
We have to share about the most recent one.
What's that?
You have to share about the most recent one.
This is my most treasured thing right now. We got to interview Penny Thornton, who was Lady Diana's astrologer for 6 years. She was Sarah Ferguson's astrologer for like 10 years. And she's been an astrologer since before the internet. So she was trained in a completely different time. And just being able to talk to someone with that much experience, not only that much experience in the field, but also with the connections that she's made, like, my voice was like 5 octaves higher than it normally is because I was so excited. And
That's so cool.
we also had you on recently. We're going to drop an episode. It's Virgo season in August, September. So we invited Lisa to talk about bringing order to your space, which is a very big Virgo theme. It's so perfect for what she does. So that was really fun to look at your chart.
I
And
loved it. We had a good time.
yeah, we talked a little bit about why Lisa's so good at what she does.
Love it. Well,
Yes.
we're gonna get into some stats that I love looking at stats. I think it's so interesting, and I have to share with you guys 2 years of episodes here, right? We didn't miss a single week. Holidays, we were maybe sick. I know there is some episodes I go back to, and I was like, I was so sick. I don't look that sick. I must have just had a good glow that day or something. But working through it, because it's important to have a new episode. Really important for me to have a new episode every week, fresh, new information. Even if we're revisiting maybe a topic, but a new approach to it, a new way to look at it. But are you ready for this?
Ready.
Over 29,000 downloads. And that's audio only, so not including YouTube video. Okay. The top cities, are you ready? This was so fun. Sydney, Dublin, Atlanta, Toronto, Chicago, and Denver. All really cool cities.
Big time. Holy cow.
Wouldn't that be fun? We should do like a tour, pack our bags, and go to, because I want to go visit. Some of these I've been to, but Sydney, no.
Yeah, let's go. I have a passport.
Yes, let's go. I mean, what a fun time that would be. But
Yeah.
I think it's so cool to think about that as you're listening. You're listening with people all around the world, different beliefs, different cultures, different interests, and yet you have this passion for creating a space that really supports you and really provides that care and whatever you need. So, congrats to you for hanging out with us for this long, for over 29,000 downloads. Oh my gosh. So, top 3 episodes this year, top 3. Number 1, which still blows my mind, it was the very first episode of 2025. And that was the very first episode welcoming the year of the snake, celebrating the Chinese New Year.
Ooh.
We talked a lot about how to prepare for that energy of the snake and tips to welcome the new year. I had my teacher and mentor, Luann Civic, on that. That was really fun. Number 2 was better sleep, better life. Sleep is so important.
It is.
I know. I have so many people reach out struggling with sleep, and there's simple little things you can do. It doesn't have to be remodeling your entire bedroom.
I rearranged my bedroom and thought of you yesterday and tried to remember all that I've learned from you, and
Nice.
putting my bed in the right spot, and it was really fun.
And keep the storage out from underneath, right?
Yep. Yep.
Good job. Number 3 was tips to up-level your daily home experience. I had a lot of fun creating this. Just little ways to amp up your day. You know, I'm always about these little things. It doesn't have, I mean, the huge things are really fun, right? Sometimes I get pulled in to work on a brand new build of a home, and I'm working with the architect from day one, and that is so fun. But not all of us do that. That is the way we're living our life. We're maybe moving around in an apartment temporarily, or just, you know, who knows? So I love that episode. So go check it out if you didn't listen to that. Tips to up-level your daily home experience. So I thought we'd do a little review looking back. And one of the themes that really came up for me was this deep connection to your home. I found I was drawn to share more about that. And Hopefully that's what you received. I I have been finding that a lot of people that when we first start working together, they have this approach that feng shui is like this mathematical equation and it has to be perfect. And if you know me, the recovering perfectionist, let's stop worrying about being perfect and think more authenticity. What really makes you feel alive? What really makes you feel good? And that is the bottom line. We can feng shui the heck out of the space, but if you don't resonate, it's not going to work. That's what's
Mm.
key here. And I hope I got that message across. We had some really powerful episodes to kind of get into that. Um, I don't know. Any thoughts on that, Maggie?
I have a question.
Ooh.
I'm curious what your most administered feng shui tip is. What's the tip that you give out the most?
The tip that I give out the most is to use your front door
Okay. Yeah.
because it's a big shift. It doesn't have to be a big adjustment in your routine, your schedule, but it can be. It's more just scheduling that in, starting to use it, shifting your movement of your body, shifting your brain to think, I'm going to use the front door a little more often.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Are there things in your life that make you stop and realize like, oh, I haven't really been using my front door and it feels sticky over here because of that. Does that make sense?
It does. I've noticed that because I'm not perfect. I am not perfect. And sometimes I'll be like, wow, I haven't opened my door all week. And I think the more you do this work, I know the more you do this work, the more you start to feel it, more you can sense it. And I'll walk over there and I'll be like, oh yeah, it hasn't been opened in a while. Almost like
It's-
a gray cloud around it, if that makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah,
Oh my goodness. And
definitely, definitely. And I always remind people, you don't have to go in and out the door when you're coming and going. You can still use the back door, you can still use the garage, but come up with some reason. Walk the dog, get the mail. I don't have a reason exactly, but I go over there. My reason is I will open the door, go out, look up at the sky, look at the trees, just take nature in for a minute. That's all it
Mm.
takes. And then I close my door. Pick up any packages, of course, that are out there too.
Oh, I love that. That's a good
Yeah.
reminder.
Yeah. So the connection was just so important, you know. Um, it's not the magical furniture arrangement equation. It's really just slowing down, paying attention and listening to that inner voice. So if that's the number one thing I can share of a lesson is less worrying about perfection and more just slowing down. But
Mm.
um I mean it's sit in your living room. Don't try to break it down and just decipher everything and figure out the best cure. Because sometimes the cure is just that connection, sitting in it and noticing. So,
Wow. I love that.
yeah. All right. The next big theme was clutter clearing. So, I released an episode called When Clutter Speaks. And wow, did I ever give feedback? I got text messages, I got emails, I got phone calls, and not even initially when it was released, for weeks after.
Wow.
And people shared it with their family members, their friends. I received stories about how someone had a box in their garage and releasing the box helped them release a relationship that wasn't supporting them.
Wow.
People cleaned out their closets and got brilliant creative inspiration and writing notes and journaling. And that was really fun. Again, go check out When Clutter Speaks. It's a good episode to help you look at clutter, not just as stuff, boxes of stuff, but how it might be stopping you and keeping you stuck. Just help
Mm.
look at it with a different lens.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's so interesting to use clutter like a diagnostic tool, but you can.
Yeah.
It speaks.
Yes. Especially
Mm.
when you slow down and look at where it's at, right? Because where it's at can be really important. if you have clutter in your kitchen, clutter everywhere, stuff that doesn't belong in the kitchen, that's where you're nourishing your body. Are you really, my first question would be like, are you taking any time for self-care? What are you doing for yourself? Because you don't have the space to properly nourish your body. Just a different way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Let's see. I had a few notes here. I wanted to make sure we covered everything. One of my personal highlights, of course, is meeting so many interesting people. We didn't do a ton of interviews this year. I wanted to cut back a little bit and get to some meaty, good information, but we had Betsy Helmuth of Affordable Interior Design Podcast. She's so fun. Not only do we share the same approach to interior design of really of everyone being able to should have a space that makes them feel good, no matter your budget. You don't have to be a celebrity with a multi-million-dollar mansion to have a space that feels really good. Everyone deserves that. So we both share that approach along with our obsession to Married at First Sight. If you're a Married at First Sight junkie, Betsy and I, we actually got on her podcast, and recorded an episode about Feng Shui. And then I think 60% of the episode was about this TV show. We just finished up a series and we're reviewing it. It was so fun. Also, Abby Bolton was really fun. Abby Bolton Arts, an amazing artist in Pittsburgh. Her approach to art was so fascinating. She infuses her art with mantra, with frequency, with so many different energetic ways to infuse it with goodness, with an intention. She does amazing custom art. I actually just this morning opened up a print that I bought from her, and I'll post some pictures on my Instagram. P.S. If you haven't checked out, I have an Instagram fight 2 years. I don't know why it took me so long. I was like, well, it's another social media thing that I have to worry about. But I finally have a Feng Shui Living podcast Instagram account. So you'll get all kinds of behind the scenes photos and fun things like that there. So Abby was really fun. Those are probably my two favorite interviews. And then we also talked to you, Maggie, about some astrology stuff throughout the year. You also led a class, too, that was really fun. I didn't even plan to talk about this in the episode, but Maggie, it was so cool. You, let's see. It's on your website. I'm going to put a link in the show notes to that course. So it was an hour-long course, I think. And Maggie talks about how to connect astrology with your home. Like, did you know there's a better day of the week to clean your house? And then there's a day you shouldn't clean. So that's your excuse to get out of cleaning your house.
I love that. That is one of my favorite ways to bring a little bit of order to the week, and just choosing, because there's a lot to do. I mean, when you're a living, breathing human, there's a lot of balls in the air. So it kind of helps just bring a little bit more order to some of that chaos. So
That was cool.
yeah, we made some like worksheets so you can print them out and hang them up on the wall to remember all the different days to do different things.
Like a little cheat sheet.
Yeah.
I love a cheat sheet.
Makes life easier. Any help I can get.
Right? I'll be sure to put a link to that course, linking to Maggie's website in the show notes. So we also have to talk about a little behind the curtain, because this year was hilarious. Sometimes I had to re-record the intro about 5 times. So I swear, the FedEx man, the UPS man, the Amazon driver, she knows when I'm up here recording an episode and pulls up my driveway to make my dogs go crazy.
Of course. It's always when you get on a roll too, and then you're like, oh no.
I know. I'm like sharing this heartfelt message, and then it just goes insane in here. I swear my dogs bark so loud. Sometimes it's like the whole house. You can hear it, the whole house. I mean, I'm in a soundproof room with 3 doors between me and that, but you can still hear them.
You can probably feel it in your bones.
Yes, but it's also fun. That's
Mm.
life. I
Yeah.
know we've had I think two of your different cats make appearances sometimes on the podcast. I've had multiple pets, and we're pet friendly here at Feng Shui Living Podcast.
Definitely.
Okay. Well, before we wrap up, I want to talk about moving forward. Season 3. Season 3 is going to be really special. And you actually did some behind the scenes work into kind of where we've been, where we're going. Before we get into that, I wanted to share that my focus for season 3 is going to really be a few things. Of course, the basic feng shui things. If you're a newbie, you're still, this is not going to be advanced. We're going to have those basic things because I don't care how long you've been practicing. Sometimes you need to be reminded of those basic things, right?
Mm.
We're going to get into also the intuitive home method. I'm going to be sharing my signature service, my signature approach a little more. We're going to get into that. And also space clearings. Those
Yay.
episodes do pretty well, and I haven't done a whole lot, and I'm like, why not? So we're going to dive into shifting the energy of our space because
Ooh.
it is powerful and so important to then implement feng shui principles, feng shui cures or adjustments. When we can clear up our space, tidy it, clean it, shift and clean out the energy. My friend Christina really called it, talking about it's like clearing out the energetic dust bunnies.
Yes,
Isn't it
yes,
great?
yes,
Right?
yeah.
When you can do that, then everything you implement works so much better. And everything you bring in that's pretty feels so much more beautiful and has such more of a presence to it. So
Mm.
that'll be really fun. If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling stagnant, we're going to have some really good episodes for you. So Maggie, hop into what you just gave me a brief overview before we started recording, and I'm so excited to hear what you have to share.
Well, I just thought it would be a good time to look at the astrology chart for the first episode that you dropped. Why
Which I
not?
will say, I was so nervous. Oh man, I mean, you hear it in my voice. Plus, we also had the old name then, which
Oh, yeah.
yeah, which was hilarious too.
That's right. I forget, when did the name change happen? That was
Amazing.
Revive and Thriveology.
Oh my gosh, I try not to remember because I was like, I think about it now, and I was trying to be cutesy and come up with a name, and it just anyway. I want to say that was April of 2024.
Okay. Okay. So a
We
little
switched
over
to
a
doing that
year.
because I did want to have more of a focus. I mean, all my work it isn't just 100% feng shui. I get into so many other things, but I wanted the podcast to be the core. Yeah, we get off in different tangents once in a while, but
Yeah.
the main focus is feng shui.
That's the beautiful thing about like these different kinds of art forms is they all just kind of like there's like a gray area between them, and you can kind of like it makes sense to venture out in this direction and then kind of guide back because it feeds to the conversation, you know.
It does.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you're talking about the energy of a space, then anything energy I feel like is on the table.
Anything energy, but then we can also get into the aesthetics because some people really want beautiful artwork surrounding them, or, it's, I think everyone wants something around them that they enjoy, that they love to look at,
Mm,
whether
yeah.
they realize it or not.
I think so
Or
too. And
don't.
it's different for everybody, but I think that desire is still there. Um, but so I pulled up the chart for the first episode,
Wow.
and it's so cute because so Virgo, your episode, the first one came out right at the beginning of Virgo season.
Okay.
And just very like broad overview, Virgo brings order to chaos. And that's what you're doing tangibly and energetically. And so that's the whole point of what you're doing. But not only is Virgo like a really big part of the chart, but Mercury is in a very specific place, and Mercury is communication. So it's like
Ooh.
you're talking about helping bring order to people's spaces. Not only is the sun there and Mercury there, but Mars is there as well, and Mars is what motivates you. It's what inspires you. It's what gets like what's lights a fire under your buns to like get you up out of bed and get you going. So I'm curious, I just want to know, just since we're talking about some of these topics, when did you really feel motivation to go into this area, this, because there's so many options that you can study, there's just so much you can do in the world. I'm wondering if you have ever found that like defining moment where your motivation for beauty and order came online.
Oh, Maggie, that might be a really difficult question.
That's okay.
I
It's
mean,
kind
I
of
was a
specific.
child taking
Mm.
my mom's Better Homes and Gardens magazines, and I'd take my markers and I'd make the room look better. I would color in the carpet in a different color, and I designed the wallpaper on the photos. I would
Mm.
sketch floor plans. But also, like, my mom is, I grew up on a farm in Iowa. Some people know this, but very rural area. Um, and a lot of people think we were like, I was out milking cows, and my mom's a very fancy woman. Like, she loves pretty things, and she was always rearranging the furniture all the time. Every season, she'd want the sofa facing a different direction than the living room or moving things around. And so I think that really kind of got me, I instantly, from as young as I can remember, I've always been incredibly intuitive. And it took a long time before I could put any words to what I was sensing or feeling, but I could feel, oh, this feels very grounded. This feels very safe. This feels very comfortable. So I
Mm.
think it grew from that. And when you feel that way, you can enjoy the beauty so much more
Mm.
when you have
Yeah.
that sense of grounding.
Oh, so it's just a fabric of who you are.
Honestly, yes, which is funny because there's so many ups and downs. I mean, before design school, I actually went to school for communications.
Oh, wow.
And which is funny because I wanted to get into writing. And I remember I had a student radio station that was horrible. It was so bad. But then I was like, well, this isn't what I want to do. I need to be more creative. So then I went to design school. Well, look at this whole full circle moment.
Mm.
And it's all meshing together beautifully.
Oh, isn't that is just so, it makes me want to cry. How perfect. Just, I don't know, things look like they're chaotic and it looks like it's a mess and it looks like you're not getting anywhere, but everything happens in the perfect order
Mhm.
and we don't always get to know. So,
We don't always get to know. And sometimes along the way, you're like, why? This is not what I expected. Why am I here?
yeah.
Where am I going? How am I going to get there? I
Mm.
don't know. But then you get there and you're like,
Oh.
okay,
Mm.
now I know why I had to go through. I mean, I've shared my story about how I found this work. I was severely struggling with my health and well-being, my mental health, and I was in a very high pressure design job that I thought, should have been my dream job. And then, I really had to learn to move from taking a space and making it beautiful and functional to really support you. There was this, I have no doubt I meant to do this work, right? I meant to figure out how to take a space, make it look enjoyable and function for you. But really the key is have those elements, that grounding, that safety, those powerful elements to support you in your space.
Mm.
So.
Oh, I love that.
I know. It's like, wow, I'm having a moment.
It's very tender.
I'm always so grateful. I get to work with people going through some of life's big challenges, illness, divorce. And I'm writing my book. We're getting close to publishing. We're having beta readers right now review it. I'm working on the cover design with the design team. I had 3 meetings last week just with the design team, and we're getting so close, and I get to share a lot of these stories. There's illness, there's divorce, there's a lot of heavy things, but gosh, so many fun things from
Mm.
people, working on. building out their dream business and they need a retail location, or starting a new family and building their dream home, and wonderful things too. So it's not all the heavy, it's a lot of beautiful, exciting moments too. But the ups and downs, that's what brings us harmony in the end.
Yes.
The downs teach us, and the ups are like, ooh, little magical moments that teach us more too, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it all helps. Like, I don't know, it creates a spectrum. And I feel like the further we go on one end, the more capacity we have on the other. So that might just be me, though. I don't know if everyone feels that
Love
way.
it. I love it. Well, quick note in the newsletters throughout the month of August, make sure you're signed up for my weekly newsletter. In the newsletter, we talk about, there's a different tip that I want to share, or something, or a download, or just something for you to ponder this week, along with the episode links. I am sharing a very special discount in that newsletter. That it's a discount for a service that must be purchased in the month of August to help celebrate the second anniversary. Another fun thing that's coming up soon is interior design basics and feng shui basics. Both online classes are kicking off. I think interior design basics might start in 3 weeks. We're getting there. So check it out. Register. It's all online, all live. A really fun group of people, a really fun class. It's in collaboration with Purdue University's continuing ed program. So that will be in the newsletter too, on the website. And I think that's everything. Maggie, do you have anything else to share?
I'm just so appreciative. I love contributing to like your heart's work, and I'm proud of you. That consistency, it's really cool to watch. So keep it up, and yeah, I thank you for including me.
Wow, I'm so grateful for everything you do. I couldn't do what I do without you, without so many supporters, without my whole podcast team that supports me, the editors, everybody. So to you, the listener, I want to say thank you. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing with your friends, your family, your coworkers. You've sent me your stories. You've sent me messages and experiences. And yesterday, I got a phone call. I'm having a rough morning. And I get a phone call from someone. I listened to your podcast episode. Oh my gosh, I wanted to tell you this because this what happened and you won't believe it. And it's the most amazing experience. And I love this. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Let's jump into season 3. I'm so excited. Here's to another year of connection, of clarity, of harmony, and just whole heck of a lot of good chi and good vibes. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you at season 3's episode 1. Special thanks to our sponsor, Elevated Living School of Holistic Design and Feng Shui. For more information, head over to the show notes. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, give us a 5-star review, and share this episode with a friend. We'll see you next time.